Good morning, YouTube. How are we doing this bright and early morning? Morning, my man. Hot Pepper Mike. You need to get your shirt. Uh, get your shirt done up. Hot Pepper Mike. So, how was everybody's Memorial Day weekend? By a freak of nature, I actually uh, was able to go home, and of course, I always overdo it when I come home, but I never hear, I don't hear a peep from the HOA because I try my best to stay within the guidelines, to do the yard and everything else. Uh, Found some house damage, and it's nobody's fault, but the way my in my front, I have two bay windows. The way the roof was created, was made. That water comes straight off that roof. It doesn't even go. It comes off so fast. It doesn't even hit the gutters. No matter how much I clean the gutters, it comes right off the roof, and it hits straight down to my bay windows roof, and then it, it kind of goes down, it ricochets, and pounds against the windows. So over the years, I've got, I had one side replaced, and I've been putting it off. That's part of my DIY, uh, nature. I had Home Depot come in and do the other side. It, jeez, it cost me about 2 grand, where it could have cost me about like maybe 400 or 500. I don't know. I gotta order the middle bay window. I'm probably today. I'm gonna peel off the edges inside the house and measure that window and go up to Home Depot and order one, and just replace it. But my wife was worried. She sees some bugs outside, so she's well, yeah, we need to get the termite stuff and blah blah blah. I said, well, I already have it because again, I'm Captain DIY. So I mixed up a batch, extra thick, and was doing the perimeter of the house, just spraying, spraying, spraying. Put some surfactant in there. If anybody wants to know, surfactant is, it's really all it is soap. But it comes down, and what it does is it helps for whatever chemical you're spraying to get down into the ground, the dirt and stuff like that. So when I did that, and I noticed the bay window, I noticed a lot of rot, and I'm like, oh crap. And since I replaced what, it's like that bottom piece that's like below the window, and it slants out so the water won't pool right there. So I had to buy that wood and replace that. and seal it off, and I part of the lower window I had to seal up with some silicone until I can get that window replaced. So I just spent a whole lot of time doing that, and you know it's stuff that I say I enjoy it, but I was done with my yard work. I didn't want to do nothing else, and when I noticed, I was like, I can't leave it like that. You know what I mean? So I fixed it for now, and later on, like I instead of just getting regular wood, I got the pressure treated, you know that type of stuff. So hopefully it'll last longer, and I got to figure something else out for I got to figure something out because that water it's gonna keep doing it, year after year. Maybe put some gutters up around my bay windows. I don't know, something simple. I just gotta figure. I gotta figure it out. I'll figure it out. I cleaned up back there. Um, the yard's looking pretty good this year. Hopefully, my main thing is lasting past the the heat of June. If I can get past the heat of June and get one good solid year where everything doesn't fall apart, I could have a decent lawn year round. You know what I mean? But we'll see. That's all I can hope for. But one of the things I want to talk about today is, that I think I talked about it before, but I was just in the mood to talk about it again. Is the differences and stuff that I've seen on these cruise ships, from pre-COVID to uh, pre and post-COVID. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I said, I love cruising, um, but it was really down to one cruise a year, and the thing is, always saved up for it, and did a decent you know cruise, but you know I guess because of COVID, I was so desperate to get back on boat. We did one, and then the next one was like freaking 6 months later. The 6 month later one was the one that we had to cancel because of COVID. Hold on 1 second, I gotta get some gas. No, the second one we had to reschedule. I'm sorry, I said cancel. We had to reschedule. So you know we've been waiting patiently for that one. And the thing about cruising is, it's exciting and stuff like that. But the problem is when you get on these boats, you want to see everything, and you want to see everything now. You know, one of the things that I've learned and I just noticed is, and I said it before, I'm going to stop trying to get on the newest of the new when they just come out. And the reason I'm saying that is they don't have their act together. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it runs smoother when you've been with a crew that's been around for a minute. And like pre 6 months or post 6 months or something like that, where only a couple of people have switched off. Not a couple of, a few hundred from the amounts of the crew that's there. So they have a standard routine. They have stuff that they're ready for. The food is even up to par. You know, and it's more it's more enjoyable. Yes, you got a lot of people that want to say that they were the first. Well, the first will cost you a lot of money because the way cruise ships go, when the demand hits, guess what goes up also? The price. The price is, you know, freaking astronomical. And those things, they coincide. Like the world's biggest cruise ship, which is with Royal Royal Caribbean. I mean, I think looks like a daggone island, a floating island. I mean, they're going. It's going for a lot of freaking money. And the the thing pre pre COVID, we were on smaller ships. The ship, it had a certain amount of floors, and when you got on there, it wasn't that long of a walk to be all over the daggone place. Well, hey, it's funny. I went on another live. 'Cause it was a cruise ship, uh, um, Pier Runners. I went on their live, and they were out and about in Aruba. and and cruising is fun that time. She said, and he said they was saying who was in the live, and I can't wait because I think they're back from the celebration, and she was saying, I guess don't quote me on this because I was driving. I need to go back and really listen. She said it didn't look like you was in a lot of pain, uh, in your videos, but yeah, because pre-COVID we were on smaller ships. Post-COVID, we went full tilt boogie, and was on two of the biggest ships that the next class of ships that Carnival is coming out with now. And in December, the Jubilee is another sister ship. Is going to be out of Texas, which we're going to eventually have to try some of that stuff out of Texas, but we'll see. Um, but I noticed that uh, you know I'm a little bit more sensitive to things now that I've been off. We had been off, cruise ships for I think what 2 or 3 years, and what didn't really kind of sort of didn't bother me before, kind of sort of kind of bothers me right now. I wasn't really too much aggravated about the kids. I knew they were there. I knew they had to be there, but I guess pre-COVID it didn't bother me, but post-COVID I'm like, yo, these little monsters getting on my nerves. And I remember we had was just sitting and noticing. I'm sorry, I'm a parent, and I would never let my son, unless I own the hot tub, my child be jumping around in the freaking hot tub. And don't get me wrong, guys. On these cruise ships, the hot tub ain't a hot tub. It's a lukewarm tub. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, okay, stop being a little whiner, because it's it's still a lukewarm tub. It ain't even a hot tub. You know what I mean? So I noticed that I'm a little bit more sensitive. Okay, I just realized. Come on, bro. Let me over. Oh, by the way, I'm I'm driving back to the yard so I can get in the truck and get back to work. But I noticed that one, pre-COVID, we kind of sort of cruised during hurricane season, because they say that hurricane season is it's much cheaper. And I kind of noticed that it started getting aggravating, about, you know, uh, cruising, and you pay all this money for a balcony, but it's storming out there, and the waters it looks all scary, and you're like, what in Sam Hill is going on? You know what I mean? And half the time, the ship is uh, running from this storm or this tropical depression or whatever, And I kind of was like, look, I think we need to start cruising, taking a few cruises out of the stormy season. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been. Uh, I noticed because I liked it. Like the last one we just went on was in, I believe, March, and I got to enjoy sitting out on our deck and watching and just relaxing and videotaping. And yeah, of course, the water's going to be a little rough, but it wasn't as rough as during a storm. Which brings me to uh, something I wanted to talk about. They had, I believe it's the Carnival Sunshine that had some storm damage that, they took in water. They took in water on the lower decks. The lower decks, if any of y'all want to know, is where the crew stays. They're actually below deck. So that those seas must have been really raging for the to drop in like that. And yeah, they were saying, I think, 70-mile-an-hour winds and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure these boats have watertight compartments. What does that mean? Well, when you have a ship that has watertight compartments, if they seal off an area of the boat, and we're talking the lower levels, if they seal off the area of the boat, the buoyancy, it keeps the ship afloat. Now, they might not have sealed off certain areas, which would probably be the reason why you see, the water. And I'm don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. But it's a lot of extensive damage on the lower levels, and it looks like they're gonna have to get into port and do some repairs. But you got to understand, these ships, when they're built to make money. Um, they're not built to sit. They don't sit. They I'm surprised they'll do the medium behind repairs, aerate that thing out, throw some dehumidifiers, down in the lower decks and run that for a couple of days, dry it out, and put these folks back to work. Um, and they got to keep going. See, because you guys got to understand, these companies are these billion-dollar companies are billions of dollars in debt. They had during COVID, they had to write, um, they had to issue bonds and stuff like that to keep these ships afloat, to keep them, powered and going. So when they do that, when they do that, the they're gonna nickel and dime you to death compared to pre-COVID. Well, yeah, they kind of nickel and dime. No, no, no. And on the carnival, they sell you all kind of crap. But post COVID, they want to nickel and dime you to death. I was in one of the uh buying a cup souvenir, and the price was surprisingly low, and she said, "No, that's the wrong price," and she redid it. So this lady was more worried about me catching a deal than the young black woman that was walking around in the same place, just stuffing stuff in her pocketbook, stealing all kind of crap. When you should have been out there, but you was wearing it, looking up. Oh, this is the wrong number. Oh, okay. You, and that's one of the things that I've noticed. Don't get me wrong. The food pre pre COVID was okay, but you noticed there was certain things that were out there, like uh, pork alternatives. Let me say it that way. The breakfast on, especially on the smaller boats, the breakfast changed daily. There was something different. Um, you know, just it was just something different that you noticed on the breakfast line. Well, it's like they did a company wide ban on creativity, and they said, well, you're gonna have this, and that's it. The no flavor sausage, it's gonna be pork, whatever. The no flavor sausage, you're gonna have this, and that's it. Um, things when you're on these cruise ships, they need to have a variety. They need to change it up. They need to, you know, one day have this type of hash browns. One day have sliced potatoes. One day have cubed potatoes. Just something. Change it up. You know, make. It's called shit on the shingle. All it is cream ground beef, and that's all you got to do. You could just ground beef seasoned, and put it. You put that on toast. A cream chip beef on toast. You know, there's other things. You don't have to make a lot of it, but just show that you make an effort. Yeah, they had French toast. Yeah, they had pancakes. Um, but make an effort to change up the dining room. Um, the dining room menu pre-COVID gave you a few choices. Post-COVID, oh man, it's dull. It's dull. It's mediocre. The only reason that we went to, I think now, and we go to dinner is because we want to go take pictures. We want to play dress up. And again, I'm not complaining. I'm just these are the things that I've noticed. Um, and I have no saying that wife wants to go to dinner. I don't. By the time dinner hits, I'm full. I done had so much freaking food. Um, I don't know if the lobsters were smaller pre-COVID, but post-COVID, yo, these things small, real small. Like they should have been thrown back to let them grow. That's how small they were. Um, the average, uh, the average em- ship's employee, um, I don't know if they're working them just as hard as they did pre-COVID because, no, yeah, I'm gonna kind of say probably because I remember there was one time, you know, the lady was our server in dinner, and then the next day I noticed they was up working in the cafeteria, and then later on that afternoon I seen them doing something else, and you know you think that these companies that would learn uh, to I guess slow the roll or whatever. Uh, with these employees, get you know cut them some slack, but I don't know. I don't think that's changed. Pre-COVID, uh, I would just lose my mind once I get on the boat. Just eat, 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 eat. Get sick, bring it back up, go back out, eat, eat, eat again. Get sick, bring it back up, go back out, eat, eat, eat again. And it was just a common thing, because I do have a very weak stomach for a big guy, but I would sit there and just eat, eat, eat. It didn't matter what it tastes like. It, I would just eat, 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 and eat, 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 and drink, eat, 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 and drink, eat, 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 and drink. And you know, I I didn't I didn't slow down until I got off the boat and not realizing how much that stuff plugged me up. It would take days, to be unplugged from what is I don't know, it's maybe something in the food or whatever. So post COVID, I started bringing fiber pills, keep stuff moving, and but in other words, also instead of four breakfasts, slow down to maybe two breakfasts and not a lot. Uh, I'm kind of, cause again, I'm trying to live healthy. I'm gonna say it like that, trying to live healthy. You know, pre-COVID didn't care. Post-COVID, I'm looking like, nah, I don't need that. No, I don't. Um, I was disappointed at a few things when we went on the celebration, but now that I see, and it was that they they needed some time to get their act together. Um, because when I went on the Mardi Gras, the same places that the food was horrible was a whole lot better, and I actually enjoyed myself. You know, the the thing about pre-COVID, we tried to see everything, just wore me the heck out. Post-COVID, especially on the Mardi Gras, I was like, man, screw this. I'm going to the room, take a nap, lay down, relax and blah, and enjoy the moment. The and when we slowed down, I really got to enjoy the boat even more, and not ripping and running and just uh, you know it allowed me to really think about maybe we should do some you know land vacations also, kind of mix it up a little bit. And the reason is this: when you mix it up, we should be able to come back with more enthusiasm and more relaxation. Again, I do want to try Richard Branson's his cruise line. I really do, but convincing the wife is a whole different story. You know what I mean? It's definitely a whole different story. Well, we're working on that. We're working on that. We're gonna figure that out. Um, I still enjoy I still enjoy the cruising life. So I'm not I'm not done with that part of it. But right now, because when when you've missed a couple of years, you really start thinking about it. This is the stuff that I'm doing, is it actually worth it? Um, the Mardi Gras, I slowed down a whole lot on the alcohol consumption. I think the only time we had alcohol was when we were doing the lives early in the morning, which I thought was utterly funny because we would do it live. Then after that, probably head back to the room, take a nap, and then roam around the boat. The fun part about doing those lives was you got to get up early in the morning where you know everybody else is asleep, and it was really kind of enjoyable to see the your surroundings, without all the noise and all of the commotion, because you really got to see. That's when everybody's out cleaning and hustle and bustle of, I guess, preparing the boat for the next day and so forth and so on. Uh, it was really enjoyable seeing that because you could walk around, get coffee, get your little drink, and then relax, and then I guess start your day. Um, Again, I guess it's just these few things that I've noticed are not complaints, but it just just I guess simple observations. Um, I also noticed that I pre-COVID I didn't realize how nasty people are. How the fact that they don't wash their hands, even in the bathrooms, that they don't wash their hands, and then you wonder why things like you'll hear the norovirus outbreak on a certain boat. Norovirus is that gives you the poop poopy deuce. You know what I mean? Because people don't wash their hands. On these big boats, they have so many hand washing stations. As soon as you walk into the cafeteria area that's called marketplace, they have a hand washing station. I For the life of me, I've never seen, other than me and my wife went in there. We would stop there and go wash our hands and then go off to eat. I've never seen nobody wash. I didn't have to wait for the hand washing station. Any of them. There was the ones in the front, forward, ones in the back. I didn't I didn't notice anyone washing their stank behind hands. You know, the sanitizers, which was all of it. Oh, you're really not clean, but it's something. Put something on your hand. I didn't notice nobody doing that, and I was looking. I was being very observant. Post COVID, you would think they would that would change. Nope, not at all. And on the horizon, they have the fun one. You stick your whole forearm in this machine, and it shoots really not. It's not hot, but it's not warm. It's like just right, and it's like spray. It's like a dishwasher for your forearms all in on your hand. I last time I went and was on there, I was playing with the thing. I was having a ball, and it washes everything for you. You know, people they I didn't really notice it pre-COVID, but post-COVID they leave plates everywhere. plates of food, plates of, like you were brought up in a barn. You don't have to put it outside your door. Just leave it on the table, leave it on the desk. The room steward will clean it up for you, but they would leave it outside the door. It was I seen stuff, plates on on the stairs. Excuse me. That's ridiculous. On the stairs. I know I got the cough. I guess something's in my throat, but we'll get over it. But uh, sorry about it. I don't know. Excuse me for 1 second. But someone put in there if I ever try sleeping in. Well, fortunately, I can't sleep in. I gotta go to work. Um, someone, a lot of people have mentioned that, why did I go on so early? Well, guess what? Uh, this is the time of day that I'm up and I'm about and around. Why do I need to be in competition with everyone else that is trying to do lives and everything else uh, during the regular part of the day when I'm almost done? I'm almost done with my day. You know what I mean? Um, and it's nothing against them. I get on to do these lives and these talks and to get the practice, uh, to get myself into a routine, to talk and work on my channel, which I got to do. um, I got to do, some more lawn work today. I think I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna pull out the Toro Greensmaster 1000. I got two belts for that thing, and probably clean it up a little bit. Just do a couple of hours with that. Maybe do a video on that, and you know I'm I'm doing uh, more and more videos because I need to start getting my watch time hours up. Um, the shorts, those shorts are, oh man, they got this channel going. The shorts got us growing on this channel. Um, I'd say in a couple of months I'm gonna hit that 1,000 mark, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. I remember in the beginning, I didn't think I'd have more than two, 2 or 4 subscribers, which it's been a blessing. I've found new friends. My man, he be cracking me up. Uh, he's a country dude, and he be cracking me up. Um, Cause I like being the part of doing the part, and I'll put on my John Deere shirt and I'll put on my overalls and act like I'm Farmer John when I'm out there on my lawnmower and cleaning up my yard. I try to make it fun instead of being aggravated. It's like I don't want to do this, and, stuff like that. It's because don't guys, don't get it twisted. My body is I'm getting old. I'm falling apart. By the time I finish, because I get up so obsessive, I cut back bushes. I mowed my lawn. I cleaned up. I repaired a window. Um, I'm tired. You know, I wish I had the money I could pay somebody, but no, I'm gonna get it. Um, and again, it's not a complaint, but it's more of a look. I'm getting it done, and I figured out a way that makes me want to do it. You know, I figured out a way, and I have an open season. There's really not a lot of people up this time of morning. Mike, I don't know when you sleep. you you're everywhere, but um, this is the time when I get out. I get out, get down the road. Uh, it's been a help. It's been a help to me. This really, again, I'm giving you pre and post stuff about cruising. I never thought that I would be on one cruise, you know, nevertheless two in 6 months, and then all of these other cruises that I've been on. The one I really just broke my heart that missed out on because it's stupid behind Trump is that we were supposed to go on a cruise. We've been waiting. It was paid off and everything, to Cuba. I wanted to, that was like, going to be a trip of a lifetime. And, that got cut short. Um, but, you know, oh, let's go back to the pre and the post. Pre-COVID, they cleaned your rooms twice. You seen the room stewards all the time. Post COVID, you get one. That's it. I did notice that when you tip them extra, my man, when you tip him extra, he would come and clean your room twice. If you give him straight up cash, he'd come in there and clean that room twice. So that's one thing that I did notice. Pre-COVID, I had a routine of ordering. Oh man, some toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches from room service. Well, now you got to pay for room service. You know, I'm I don't need a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that bad that I got to pay for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Well, I could get the peanut butter and the bread um, at breakfast, wrap it up, and take it back to the room. Just saying. Um, and I guess that falls under nickel and dime and you're behind the death. Um, I probably already had it, but it went berserk during COVID that I had type 2 diabetes. So a lot of times I don't eat dessert. Pre-COVID, I was eating all that mess. Post-COVID, I'd say probably 1 or 2 days I didn't eat cake, but I had some cookies. I ain't gonna sit there and lie. And I had the ice cream, the soft serve ice cream. Um, the mass, some folks are still coming down with COVID. I think what's her name, Emma on Emma Cruises. She had went on one, and then the next week she had COVID again. So it's still it's still around. It's still around. It's still there. We just got to be more and more careful. More and more of the hand washing, more and more of the um, just be vigilant. Again, a lot of pre-COVID, you didn't notice how nasty people can be. Post-COVID, you're hearing a lot of wet coughing and phlegm flying, and Charles had to tell me 'cause a lot of times I'll be on here coughing and spitting, and y'all don't need to be hearing that. That's why when you hear me say excuse me, that's what I'm doing. What the? Oh, I really got to get that fixed. I think I got to short my light switch. Mm, we'll figure that out. Yeah, you're right, Mike. Right now it's I'm um I'm doing this because I find enjoyment in it. I get dogged out by Charles. You can always tell a good friend because he's like, hey, mother effer, you can't have quiet air. What's the matter with you? Well, quiet air, 'cause I ain't got nothing left to say. And he be like, I got to look for stuff for you. I got to look for stuff so you can talk about. You know, that's the kind of friend that you need. Because but it also brings in the fun part of it because you know you you sit there and be laughing because this is some silly behind stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell when you look at other people's pages, they're struggling. They're trying to get it to the next level, and yeah, yeah. Granted, we'd all like to be that Mr. Beast. That's that guy that gets billions of views. Well, I'll probably be Mr. Chipmunk. I don't think I'm gonna be Mr. Beast. Just saying. But you gotta find enjoyment in what you do. This dude high beaming the piss out of me. Oh boy. But oh well. You gotta find the enjoyment in it. And like you said, get monetized, oh well. But now I'm having fun when I make my videos instead of just showing me limping all over the place with the lawnmower and all that. I speed it up and I look like a hot mess, but I'm getting views and I'm having fun. And then I find different music. I did a couple of shorts with it was the same video but different music, and you can see that the different versions um is what took, you know, it's what took. Oh, another thing. Let's get back to what pre-COVID. I think the cruise directors had free reign for their sail away shows. What do you mean by that? The cruise director would get together with the DJ, get certain music up in a certain way to get it going. In other words, they put on a show like old school rappers. That in other words, MCs, where they had bam this back to this, bam 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 bam, and it was fun. And they always did the Walla Baby Walla, all that stuff too. Now we got um the post COVID YMCA. Who the heck wants to do that stupid crap? They don't even have uh that new. It's not even new. It's actually old. It's the song that Jerusalem. They could add that. It's a step. A step thing too. They have there's people on, and I think they want to have for fellow Caucasians, their music also. But what they should do is like there's like guys, white, black, and indifferent DJs that has mixed country um with rap, and it sounds unbelievable. Just do something like that. Um, the amount of parties pre-COVID was there. Post-COVID, you know, God, 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 God help you when you're gonna have. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I forgot to put the car in park, and it kept on moving. Oh, luckily I caught that. Yeah, can you say stupid? Yeah, it's early in the morning. Um, but the sail away parties is like, and I think one of them, the DJ was playing Baby Shark. What? What? I did not spend thousands of dollars to get up and 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 and, and have some fool play Baby Shark. Really? If that is unbelievably stupid, you know what I'm saying? Baby freaking Shark. And you know the the adult show was changed up. There's like an adult game show. Um, it's actually more calmed down. And I think what they did, I think what they did was someone was complaining. It's too adult. It had to be something. It had to be something really idiotic. But that's why it's called an adult show. And what they do when you get in there, they stress if your feelings get hurt, please do not stay. Please leave. You know what I mean? Those simple things, and again, these are not complaints. It's just kind of sort of observations, pre and post COVID, about the cruise ship, um, system and stuff like that. I'm still I'm 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 still excited about cruising again. I love hanging with the lanes. There's never a dull moment. Um, and it's very enjoyable because we just do silly stuff. And then when they want to, go their way, we go our way. Then we meet up again, and that's the enjoyment. Um, Pre-COVID, the picture taking, I was um, knee deep excited about getting out there taking pictures. I think post-COVID, I've gotten back into that because I remember, we, you know, all the pictures that I take, those are the ones I wanted to buy. But I was like, screw all this. We just took all these pictures, and what they do is you can get them on your app, and but they got Carnival Cruise Line. I was like, well, I don't care. It just we just having a ball. And I would just me and the missus was walking and said, let's take a picture here. And it's all the same stuff. Okay, lean forward. Put your hand on her shoulder. Put your hand on this shoulder. And we were just sitting there laughing ourselves silly because we started laughing and doing silly stuff. And he's like, "Well, look at each other and smile." And she would whisper something crazy in my ear while they're taking a picture. And I couldn't hold it and start, cracking up. So I said all that to say this, that you know, it's yeah, it's a vacation that you pay all this money for, but you really want to slow down, relax, and have fun. Because if you don't have fun, it's you kind of wasted your money, don't you think? And a lot of times I would pre-COVID, I get on there, and instead of like when you got a lot of these people that get the drink package, they want to drink, they try to drink themselves into oblivion to get their money's worth. Well, I was trying to do that with the food. I was trying to eat myself into oblivion, and you know, every night I'm in the bathroom, because I shouldn't have ate so much, and my stomach, like every part of it's full, and I'm trying to I'm just making myself sick and miserable. So, you know, pre-COVID, that's what I was doing. Post-COVID, I started slowing it down a bit, and when we go back out again, I want to slow it even more. So I'm not sick, and just say, look, I'm just gonna get my worth out of this in another way. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Oh, made it to the yard, limping to my truck. Uh, Not ready to get up out of here. Head down the road. Let's get our pre-trip going. I'm back. But it, let's see here. Let me turn the light back on. Even though, like I said, it was this morning has been. Oh, I must have hit it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I had a feeling you were saying something because it. I don't know what it did, but we'll figure it out. But the the difference between pre-COVID and post-COVID cruising, it's just little silly stuff, but it, and I'm gonna just gonna close out with this. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing from day one, um, to cruise. It's been a blessing, for day one to, you know, be on these vacations and stuff like that. So to really learn how to enjoy yourself and sit back and relax has been a wonderful thing. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, you know what? I put my phone in my pocket. I put my phone in my pocket, and I probably hit the wrong button. So I apologize about that. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead pa- start powering things up and get on out of here. You guys have a blessed day. Um, as always, if you don't believe that no one loves you, know that I love you and God loves you too. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.